Spring training is over and the Major League Baseball season is about to begin. It's already underway, but of course, the Dodgers had to go play 2 games in Japan that counted. They come back home, they play 2 games against the Angels that don't count. But now we're officially in the mix of the baseball season. Opening day is Thursday, and I mean, this is Brandon. Other than when you're in October, is there a better time of year than right now?
Jesse, no, it is not, dude. Everyone's favorite distraction, baseball, is coming back into your house, into your home, into our communities. Opening day is right around the corner. I couldn't be more excited. Don't know if you know this. My favorite team's the Dodgers, so it's been a pretty fun end of the year last year. A really fun off season, and pretty cool. Aside from all our pets' heads falling off, that means pitchers' arms blown out. Sorry, that's a little pod inside lingo for you. But Jess, this is Deferred Collusion. Oh my gosh, do you know what this is today, bud?
What is it?
It's our 1 year anniversary, dude. I believe this is our 1 year anniversary of doing this dance we call Deferred Collusion.
It's been
obviously a nod to deferred money and owners colluding.
Well, you don't give it a. I mean, it's like all great song titles. You have to explain it to the audience, Brandon. Come on.
Yep,
Man.
just like Metallica.
Yeah,
because they're a metal band.
No, it's honestly been. I mean, all seriousness, like we haven't recorded as much as we've wanted to, but the fact that it's been a year, it's honestly been. It's been awesome doing this and growing this channel and getting all like the engagement over the past few months, seeing it grow since the World Series, just actually feeling like we're going into this season with like some like real momentum with this thing. Super excited about it. Thank you to all the people that sort of like just joined along the way, and everybody who continues to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please continue to do so. It really helps us, and I'm super jazzed. I'm pumped up, man. I'm ready to like really take this to the next level. So I'm
this guy is jazzed, dude.
I am, dude.
Jesse Jazzed Row. Oh my gosh. It is almost baseball season, so we gotta talk about it, dude.
Speaking of arms falling off, I do gotta like bring up one thing. Did I tell you about how I sprained my elbow playing hockey?
Dude, you did at the end of what? It might have been last week's episode or the episode before that.
So it was like a week and a half ago. I went and played hockey for the first time in like years and years, and I was doing a lot of like wrist shots, which is like it's flexing your arm in a way that I haven't flexed in a long time. And then I played golf the very next morning, and I must have fucked up my elbow, dude. Because take a look at this thing.
Ew. My goodness.
Yeah, dude, it's a huge. I got a huge elbow sprain, and I'm pretty sure I need Tommy John surgery, Brandon.
Whoa, here we go. Hey, it's already starting, dude. These fans are trying to get surgeries to look like Shohei Ohtani, dude. My God, Jesse.
No, it's like it's the worst muscle strain I've had in my life, and I'm like, I'm either getting old or I'm getting really fucking old. So
it's fucking old, and it's embarrassing, and it's bringing down the channel. I'm lying. I love you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for liking, subscribing, following along, all our comment friends. It's been a blast getting to hear some of your zingers and jokes. It's a party. Love hearing some takes too.
Brandon Bollinger is a hater.
Dude, Jesse Rose a hater. One of my favorite comments of all time. Jess.
Brandon should shave his mustache.
Dude, that one hurt.
I don't like your mustache. I think that's what he said. I don't like your mustache.
It was funny. I don't like it either. I just hate my upper lip. I have to hide it for shame.
Hey, it's fair.
I'm being a liar. Jesse.
You should go full Dagestani. Shave your mustache, but not your beard.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good look. That might be in for summer. I think I got to look into it.
Yeah.
That's the Dagestani way. Jess, enough of that. We got a little bit of predicciones, a little bit of housekeeping, a little bit of Dodgers looking ahead. Jess, first things first, I got to tell my guy, the Mook man, Mookie Betts, get well soon. As you may have heard, he's lost around 20 pounds
No,
over the
like
last couple
25.
of weeks. 25, right? They say he's weighing a buck 55 right now or something like that. Maybe even a little less. I think I did hear, courtesy of our boys Locked on Dodgers. Sorry if I'm misquoting, but I do think that they were saying this morning that Mookie was able to hold food down for the first time in about 2 weeks last night. So hopefully that's not just fake news that I'm propagating, but
Yeah, I mean,
that
it was
Mookie is
scary
feeling
because apparently he was like only able to drink like smoothies for the
it.
past couple weeks, and yeah, he started feeling sick 2 days before they went to Japan, and he, I guess, caught some sort of bug. I was speculating that it was like norovirus or something, but norovirus doesn't last this long. This is
Yeah.
some different shit, and got a little started sounding a little scary. The fact that
Definitely.
when your
Definitely.
body can't hold the water weight like that, that's dangerous. So hopefully he's starting to feel well and can hold food, and all is well, because I'm guessing they're going to IL him. He's not going to play
Yeah.
on opening day. He's probably going to they'll probably 10-day him or something, 7-day him, and
Mhm.
yeah, don't expect Mookie on opening day, guys, because he's
Saying, yeah, I would. I
20
would
pounds
expect
underweight.
him. Honestly, I would expect him to miss the first two series. I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to rush him back, especially playing a very physical, demanding position at shortstop.
Hmm.
But hey, once again, Miggy Rose signing is paying dividends. He's been starting way more than I think than even he expected, but he's been doing a great job. That blonde hair looks rad. Very much love it.
Hmm.
Um, but Jess, that rolls right into our first little segment, dude. Opening day weekend. What do you think
Yeah.
of the timing of these games, the scheduling of this
Well,
year's opening weekend?
so yeah, we're playing Thursday at 4:10 p.m. For the Dodger fans out there that are watching, if you're thinking about going, that is not the ring ceremony day. The ring ceremony day is going to be on Friday. For whatever reason, the Dodgers aren't doing ring ceremony on opening day. They're doing it on Friday. But yeah, you and I were looking at some Reddit forum where there are a lot of people sort of complaining about why are the games starting an hour before people get off of work. I mean, people get off work around 5:30, and the games are starting at 4:10 on a Thursday. It's like it's just a weird time to start a baseball game. Dodger fans already have a reputation of showing up late as it is, so I
Right.
hope that opening day doesn't have like you know, a big gap window of time where there's maybe 30% empty seats. I hope that doesn't happen, but yeah, just a weird time for them to be starting. And plus, like, one thing that they got to do too, Brandon. They
What?
got to get rid of that no tailgating rule at Dodger Stadium.
I think
They really,
so. I
they
think it's
really
about
do.
time,
Yeah.
but parking is set at $40.
Yeah.
A spot this year, starting at $40. So, the least he can do is let me have a couple of bruchachos in the parking lot.
Dude,
Maybe
anytime I park there, I feel like I am being hounded by a police officer. Like, they're just following me everywhere I go.
they should use some freaking officers to do damn traffic. It's a nightmare to get out of there. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know what though? I feel like the only people that should be really complaining are our friends in Colorado and Tampa Bay. Because they're not even getting to start opening day with everybody else. They got to wait till the 28th, till 4:10 Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, Coloradans, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're the low man on the totem pole. You and the Rays over at Steinbrenner Field, minor
I
league.
would almost rather start, like, if I'm in Colorado, I would almost rather start at like 1 p.m. on a Thursday, just so I could like take the whole day off. Because if you're
Yeah,
telling me like, oh, it's at 4:10, I still have to work basically like a full day. You're basically leaving room for the potential that I'm not gonna get all my work done before the fucking game starts. You know what I'm
but you
saying?
know what? Yeah, but I feel like it's almost like it's like a baseball tradition, right? The day game, the opening day game. You get the red, white, and blue bunting all around.
Right.
It's Sandlotty. It feels
But that's what I'm saying.
nostalgic, doesn't it?
Start it a little earlier. That's what I'm saying. Because then I'll just take the
Oh,
full day off. I'll just plan it out rather than like cutting out 2 hours early, driving there during traffic. Just do it early or don't do it at all.
I dig
I don't
that.
know. Yeah,
I dig
they're
that.
really doing it for fucking TV ratings. That's the truth. But
Yeah.
you know,
But hey, that's fun,
yeah.
right? Spread the games out all day. Leave your big bop and dodgies for the night game on the West Coast.
But
I don't hate it, but it's not ideal for a lot of our other friends. What can I say?
right. Well, either way, it's opening day, Brandon. We are locked and loaded for some just fucking full day of baseball. But I work from home. I will have baseball on all day, and I'll be locked in. But this is going to be our official season preview episode. We haven't done this yet, but we're going to just sort of take a look at the rotation, the bullpen, the lineup, the bench, who could get called up, who could get sent down, all of those things, and just take a look at this Dodger team that, are we looking for flaws here? We're super strong. Like what are we hoping to get out of this exercise? Are we looking for where the strengths are? Because obviously we know how fucking loaded this team is. Or are we trying to find where could things go wrong? Like what's the point of this exercise?
Jesse, you got to know your enemy. So the first things first, we got to look under the hood, see what kind of
Yeah.
engines these bad boys are running. There's some good guys out there. Some guys that can hit the ball pretty hard, and some more that can put some damn spin on it, and other guys that are just fucking tossing gas. But Jess, I think the idea is to just kind of make some educated guesses for the season, and kind of see how off base we are at the end of the year, how on target. Because as you well know, baseball has a funny way of working out. Some call them the baseball gods. Some call them just. Some call them just assholes. I don't know, but yeah, dude, I think that's what we're working on here. Is there's these established storylines already, right? Kind of
Yeah.
coming out, and there's others yet to be seen that will no doubtedly dominate the year. Like we can't really predict, a big trade deadline acquisition or, whether that be let's just say a resurgent Sandy Alcantara is looking like an NL Cy Young candidate. How quick does he get traded to a team like the Yankees? Right? Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe a guy like Vladdy Jr. Is looking to part ways with Toronto if they get off to a slow start. Just for example, right? Who knows how that could affect the MLB landscape in the year of our Lord 2025. But Jess, that's what these predictions are here for, bud.
Yeah.
They are going to be a rudder in the water telling us which way we're going. And yeah, we'll take a look back at the trail at the end of the year.
I think what I'm hoping for is I'm hoping to see what player here I think is going to step up that we're least expecting, somebody that's going to play a big role that may or may not be in the cards as of yet, because they are not expected to, simply because of all the powerhouse names the Dodgers have. But let's start with the rotation, because the rotation sucks. It's bad, dude. It's not very good at all.
If you don't like baseball, I don't blame you for not knowing any of these Dodger guys on this roster, dude. This bullpen's a real fucking Joe Schmo list, dude.
Yeah. So let's start off. Here we go. We got Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow. As of right now, the fifth starter appears to be Dustin May. Then you have Tony Gonsolin, Clayton Kershaw should be coming back in the second half. Shohei Ohtani should be pitching like late May. I believe you have an update on that, Brandon.
A little bit. I was just reading a little article, little conversation with Doc Roberts, just about the time frame of Shohei getting back on the mound and getting into a throwing program. As you may recall, Jess, we've talked about a little bit that the Dodgers are in no rush, right? Shohei signed up for the next 9 years. That's a long-term investment. This is a guy recovering from not just arm surgery in 2023, but now shoulder surgery in 2024. But
Different
with
arm,
that
but yeah.
said, different arm, but still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
it didn't seem to affect his power. He was still hitting bing bombs out there in Tokyo.
Yep.
But Dave Roberts was saying that the Dodgers are currently expecting Shohei to make 18 to 20 starts this year. So that kind of sounds like we're looking for a spring
Okay.
debut somewhere this season still.
Okay. So 18 to 20 starts, right? Let's
Map
shoot
that
on the
out for
low
me.
end here. Let's expect like 15 to 18 starts from Shohei. Let's just call it at that for now. Somewhere between 15 and 20 seems fair, right? Then you've got Bobby Miller, you've got Emmett Sheehan, Landon Knack. There are obviously a couple of other options here that could potentially get some run, but that seems to be the the top right now. River Ryan is out with Tommy John. Obviously, Sheehan is recovering from Tommy John, so I don't think he's expected back till second half as of now. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, let's just take a look because we both talked ad nauseum about how good Yamamoto looked. We obviously
Mhm.
know how great Roki has looked, but he was a little bit wild. Snell, two-time Cy Young winner. Tyler Glass now looked amazing the other day against the Angels, struck out 9 in 5 innings. And then Dustin May, who's looked very nice. And, it's pretty cool of him to crack the starting rotation with everything that he's been through.
Love that.
How obviously Dustin May is the odd man out of this rotation as it stands right now because Shohei will step in. Kershaw's going to get some run, but out of these guys, like, what do you think is like the top story in this rotation? Like, who do you have your eye on?
I mean, I feel like it's a little obvious, but honestly, Roki, I think his development is going to be a big storyline this year with as many teams that were in on him. Don't forget, we saw Roki in a damn Padres jersey, fucking throwing in San Diego, right? A day or whatever it was before he announced with the Dodgers. I think just getting to see his just brilliant, like just raw arm talent, it's just been pretty incredible. So to see him get to spend a full season around, the aforementioned Blake Snell, 2 Cy Youngs, Clayton Kershaw, 3 Cy Youngs. You got Shohei, Yamamoto, who I'm expecting, Jess. This is my dark horse Cy Young candidate,
Hold on to that.
Yoshi Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Not maybe not my Cy Young, my number one, but he's my 1B. And
Okay.
before I get too deep into it, but just I'm looking for him to make a big step forward, and this is second year in the MLB. A guy like Dustin May, all the arm talent in the world, you're looking to see him take a step forward. I just think these are all real positive influences on Roki that I think are gonna help him push forward. Kershaw had a pretty cool quote. We were talking about his interview with Pitching Ninja in the Tokyo series, but he talked about Yoshi a little bit, Yamamoto, and just even though he's a young man as well in his early 20s, mid 20s, the way he carries himself and goes about his business and his work is inspiring. And Kershaw said it helps or it makes you want to be a better person in general, not just a better ball player. So high praise from our GOAT. But again, these are the kind of work ethics and personality types and athletes and professionals that the Dodgers have now surrounded the young phenom Roki Sasaki with. So for me, that is why he is the most, I think, exciting pitcher to watch on this staff this year. And I know that's fucking crazy, right? With Otani coming back and Kershaw. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. No,
And I'm not just glazing, dude. I'm telling you.
no. Roki is obviously is the most intriguing. Other than Shohei pitching, Roki is the most intriguing simply because he might be the ace of this staff. I mean, as of right now,
Yeah.
he's the number 2 guy. He pitched game 2, and he's also pitching after like the rotation sort of resets after Snell pitches opening day on Thursday. Blake Snell's pitching on opening day, and then it goes back to Yamamoto and Roki before we even see Glass now or May.
Crazy.
So and you know
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. You're totally
yeah,
right.
so it kind of feels like Roki is like the Dodgers' number 2 at the moment, even though part of that has to do probably with just like maintaining his workload at a normal rate and him pitching in
Yeah.
Japan. But there are so many different ways I can answer this question because on one side I could say, what do we got from Tyler Glass now, dude? He looked amazing. And last year he obviously had to get shut down. There was like some concerns. Was this guy getting Tommy John again? Serious concerns about him. He's come back. He looks fully healthy and ready to go. For me, it's really just about keeping that guy healthy for October. Find a way to keep him healthy for October because when he is on the mound, like the way I look at Glass now is he is a guaranteed Cy Young winner if he can pitch a full season. That's the way I view Tyler Glass now because he's that good. He's that dominant. But if I'm looking at this team, like who am I most interested in? I'm most interested in the Dustin May Bobby Miller dynamic here because Bobby Miller just a couple of years ago on the 2023 team was like our number three pitching in the playoffs. He was had an incredible rookie year, and then the bottom fell out. Dustin
My Cy
May,
Young pick for 2024, and I cursed the
yeah,
spell on him. That was my
and,
fault.
and Dustin May, who was like one of the Dodgers' top rising pitching prospects, so nasty, one of the nastiest pitchers in baseball. Hasn't been able to keep his arm healthy, but when he's out there, there's no question about the type of stuff, the electric stuff that he brings to the table. So for me, it's like one of those guys is going to have to steal a spot in this rotation and is going to have to make Clayton Kershaw, Emmett Sheehan, Tony Gonsolin. They're going to have to make those guys work for inning, like really, really work to get their spot because they're likely going to a six-man rotation, which will open up some availability for these guys, right? But they're not going there right away. I mean, everything is assuming that like health is going to be okay, but very likely it's not going to happen. Somebody's going to go down. Somebody's going to get injured. But what if they don't? What if this pitching staff stays healthy? Where do you find room for any of these arms? I think the upside of Bobby Miller is there if he can just find a way to figure it out because I really, really still believe in the guy. And I might be delusional for thinking so. But I see a lot of Dylan Cease in him. And I could see if he could just figure out his mechanics. Like, I think that he could be he's a breakout candidate for the Dodgers this year. And it might seem crazy to some fans, but I think they're going to give him innings. I believe he might be starting the season on in the minors. I could be wrong about that, but he is on the 40-man, and he's going to get some run at some point. And I really think like this is the year like he has to start figuring it out. He really, really does. So
I couldn't agree more, dude. And
yeah.
we're rooting for you, Bobby. But if he doesn't, Jess, mark my words. Look for Bobby Miller to be a part of a midseason trade package or whatever.
That's totally possible too. And I mean, like Dustin May is sort of on that list too, man. I mean, Dustin May is kind of battling for a contract at this point. How many years has he been on the Dodgers? Let me take a look at this. Where we got to move on because this is running a little long already. But where is Dustin May?
I think he's in his 5th season.
So yeah, I mean, if he's in his 5th season, yeah. So this is season number. Well, no. Oh, okay. So I believe he was re-signed.
Yeah, like a 1-year deal or something.
Yeah, because he's actually in year 7. So yeah, he signed a 1-year deal for $2 million. So he's going to be a free agent after this season.
Love it. Love to see Meg get that bread, dude. Have a healthy season, kid. Get that dollar.
So this is a big year for him, and I could see like him and Miller, like Dustin May could absolutely be a breakout as well, like a comeback player of the year type of potential, and that would be my ideal storyline: is that Dustin May or Bobby Miller really bounce back and have great years. Because I'm not expecting a ton from Emmett Sheehan coming off of Tommy John. I am, however, expecting something from those two guys.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Jess, I don't want to spend too much time staying on the Dodgers, but position players, who are you looking for? Who's your standout guy to watch this year on the Dodgers?
Well, let's take a look at the lineup here. So we get leading off Shohei Ohtani. This is a fully healthy. Shortstop, Mookie Betts. First base, Freddie Freeman. Right field, Teoscar Hernandez. Third base, Max Muncy. Catcher, Will Smith. Left field, Michael Conforto. Second base, Tommy Edman. Andy Pages, center field. On the bench, you got Kike, you got Chris Taylor, you got Miguel Rojas, you got Austin Barnes, you got James Outman. Obviously, we're expecting Hyesung Kim to make an appearance at some point because he's going to be starting the season in the minors. Look, I'd love to say James Outman and get him back to where he was a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's really struggling. His quality of contact has just completely depleted. I could see him basically struggling for some playing time this year. Uh, I honestly think Michael Conforto is going to rake against right-handed pitching, dude. And I think that
Oh
dude
yeah.
is primed to have a monster season for the Dodgers because he is never has anybody been more protected on a 1 year deal
Wow.
other than Teoscar Hernandez was last year. And this
Yeah,
guy is more protected
that's true.
than Teoscar was last year. So there is no pressure on Michael Conforto to come on this team and just produce, man. There's no
I like
pressure on
that.
him, and I think he's going to just fit in perfectly.
Oh man, I really like that. I also feel like that's a good bet. Like flashes of it during spring training. I don't think he wowed, but during that
Yeah,
Tokyo series, he had a lot of good at bats, took a bunch of walks, got some hits when available, and I think that's what we need him to do. I think that's what we need that second half of the Dodgers lineup to do. Really, is turn it over, whether that's base hit or ball four. And then any power on top of that is just going to be an absolute godsend. I think he had 20 home runs last year. I mean,
yeah. Well,
look
like
for him to get around that, maybe 90
listen to
at
this.
least. Wouldn't be
Listen to
mad.
this. Career OPS of 800, 804.
Love that.
Last year, 759, 718, 729. But then there was a stretch between 2017 and 2021. 939, 797, 856, 927. That was his those were his OPS numbers.
Maybe we tap into that.
And look, I mean, obviously he's 32, so he's not, in the prime of his. He's still like at the end of his prime. He's not obviously smack dab in the middle of it, but I still believe that that's going to play a huge factor, especially against right-handed pitching. But in terms of like players that could be a potential breakout that we're not expecting so far this year, not a lot of guys on offense are on the 40-man roster that we're not already aware of. Like we already know a lot of these guys. Maybe one potentially could be like Hae-Sung Kim. Obviously,
Mhm.
could potentially be that. You could
I'm excited
see,
to see him still freaking, like in a big league
yeah,
game. I can't wait for it, dude.
Zaire Hope has been getting some run in minor in spring training this year. I don't know when we're going to see him, but that could be another one. But I think realistically, like what you see is what you get right now with this team. I think Andy Pages needs to prove a little bit more. He needs to take a step forward this year for the Dodgers to really continue going forward with him as a center fielder. Because you might if he struggles, you might start hearing like, all right, let's. When's the Dalton Rushing call up going to happen? When is the Zaire Hope call up going to happen? You're going to start hearing those conversations if Andy Pages really struggles at the plate.
I agree.
Yeah.
His defense has
Also for
looked a lot
Conforto
better
too.
this year.
If Conforto struggles, you're going to hear those conversations as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think Paez's defense has stepped up a lot this spring, so it looks pretty good. But I think I got to go with Mookie on this one. I don't have too much really to think about. He's going to be playing a premier position. And I think this is going to be the put up or shut up kind of moment for it. I expect great things, but
It's
now
the
that
biggest
he's sick,
story
kind of.
for the infield for sure. Like for in terms of like defensive positioning, it's by far the biggest story in the Dodgers going
Yeah,
into
and it has the most ramifications
yeah.
if he doesn't stay there. But the Dodgers are very well reinforced. So for me, it's Mookie. But if I got to throw in a little like non big three type player to that, it's going to be Tommy Edman. There was some Cardinals fans that I heard chirping a little bit that Tommy was going to be a dud as a signing. This is wasted money. That, yeah, he can do what he did in the playoffs, but he can't sustain that for a full season. The Dodgers, I think, paid him, league value, to be honest. I don't think they overpaid whatsoever. And I think for a versatile talent like Tommy Edman, you've heard even other pros and other coaches even talk about him, that the kid's a winner. So just to have somebody like that in your lineup that can play short, that can play center, that can steal you a bag, that can lay down a bunt,
Yeah.
that can be your NLCS MVP. You know what I mean? A
Let
guy
me
that doesn't have to be the guy,
right.
but buttress my point with some stats, brother.
Tommy Edman has a 6 WAR season under his belt. He also last year he had one WAR in 37 games with the Dodgers. Not amazing, but if you extrapolate that to a full season, multiply that by 4, he's basically a 4-win player last year.
That's amazing.
Which is that's really good. That's out of your 8 hole or whatever he's going to be hitting. That's fucking great. So I like the pick because it is kind of a big deal. I mean, it is kind of a big story here because you paid him a good amount of money, but he's going to be demanding such a big responsibility. Center field or shortstop or second base, he's basically going to be playing every day. He's going to hit against lefties and righties. He's a very important player for the Dodgers. So if he sucks, if he has a bad season, it limits what this lineup can do, which will still be great, but like it is counting on Tommy Edman's ability to extend rallies, to put up pesky at bats, to take the extra base, to get on base, all those things. Another one, Brandon, I think it's a big year for Max Muncy because he is getting a little bit older, and he needs to prove that he was worth not trading Nolan Arenado for Nolan Arenado. You know what I mean? He's been great for us, and he's actually we get him on a pretty good discount. Like he's one of the best third basemen in baseball by WAR. But he's a middle level defender and strikes out a lot. And then if he's not hitting the ball, it can be a little brutal at times with Max Muncy, But when he is hitting the ball, he makes that lineup just go, go, go. And he's one of the unsung heroes of this team. And I think it's a big year for him, especially, with third base kind of being a bit of a question mark, for the future of the Dodgers. He needs to lock it down this year and really have a good season. So those are my picks for the offense.
I love that. And then just the last thing, Jess, what's the win loss over under for the Dodgers?
One thing really quick before we get to that, I do want to say for the bullpen, Kirby Yates, Michael Kopech, Alex Vesia, Blake Treinen, Evan Phillips, Tanner Scott, Brusdar Graterol, Anthony Banda, Ben Kasparius, Jack Dreyer, Nick Frasso, Luis Garcia, Edgardo Henriquez, Kyle Hurt, Landon Knack, Matt Sauer, and Robleski. Kopech starting on the IL, Phillips starting on the IL, Graterol will come back like mid-season. Henriquez had some off-field mishap. He's in a walking boot right now, so he's going to miss like the first month. He might have like kicked a locker or something. We don't know what happened. But, and then Kyle Hurt is probably like a month away. Just really quick before we move on, who is your story to watch in the bullpen?
Man, honestly, Jess, I think this one might surprise you, but it's Anthony Banda.
He's been really good.
I think he's kind of just in this middle, right? Where I don't know if he's like established himself yet to be able to withstand maybe like a little sophomore slump, if you will. He came out so hot for us after getting traded over from the Guardians, I believe. But I just think that he's a guy that doesn't have the most defined role in the pen, but I think that is also kind of his plus. Like I don't expect him to have a lot of trouble, but if he does, I think it's a little iffy where he can be. The Dodgers didn't draft him, they didn't develop him, they traded for him, and he was a breakout star. But you know what? Who else has been that? Evan Phillips is a guy like that. So I mean, I can go down the line. But
I'm looking at it, and Brandon, I like your pick because if Banda is good, this Dodger team has the potential to be like one of the worst lefty, one of the nastiest lefty on lefty matchup situations in all of the league with Vesia, Banda, and now Tanner Scott as the closer. I mean, those are three of like that's a nightmare for left-handed hitters, especially when you come in the playoffs and becomes like matchup based. So that's a good pick. I will also say, Brusdar Graterol. We've trying to. Who is this guy? Because he's having trouble staying on the field. When he is on the field, he's really.
I think that's a good one too.
but he's struggled striking people out. So I'm hoping that when he comes back in the second half, that he can really take over and be a high leverage, flamethrower. Because when he's on, he's a super important part of the bullpen. But he just hasn't been available much the past couple of years. So
Yeah,
need it.
and it's again,
Yeah,
we've talked about it like shit. Jess, we'll get into it a little bit moving forward. I know we're a little long now, but
yeah,
it's just this injury bug is brutal. But I know I was just kind of singing the what ifs if things go bad for Banda. Thank you. You just took my second half, but if he's on, dude, that pen is so deep, and you have a bunch of hyper elite starters whose only question mark is length. Well, you limit innings right there. But if your starters only needed to go 5, and you could roll in a Banda in the 6, and then I don't know, throw in some sort of mishmash of Kirby Yates, Blake Trinan, Tanner Scott. That's a 6, 7, 8. I mean, good luck everybody else.
yeah. And Gonsolin could also start filling in the long relief role too. That's another
Totally.
possibility.
Yeah, and
So
I mean, and I'm not even speaking about the 6-man rotation yet.
I
But
know.
look,
Yeah.
there's a lot of arms, and everybody's going to get their opportunity to eat. I think Banda is one of those guys, though, that if he's on, it's going to be like it's going to be a real, I don't know, embarrassment of riches, I guess.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed.
I
So
like
sorry,
that.
what were you saying about you were asking me a question, I cut you off. I apologize.
Jess, I don't know.
Oh, I think it was about win total, I think is what it was.
That's what it was,
Yeah.
Jesse. The Dodgers are being
102 on some websites, 103.5 on others. So between 102 and 104 is what it seems
there we
like.
go.
Yeah.
What do you think the Dodgers are going to be at this year?
Look, obviously there's a part of us with all the moves that they made, with how incredibly stacked this team is, top to bottom, bullpen, starting pitching, lineup. We've laid it all out for you. There's a chance that this team could be the highest win total in the history of baseball. Miguel Rojas said that should be their goal. That their goal should basically be to win every single day, and that they should be able to break that record. Nobody should be able to beat them ever, basically, and that's their mentality. So like they have the roster to break the regular season record set by the Mariners for the most wins. Like they could win 120 games. Absolutely,
Jesse,
they could
I
do it.
think we know what the title to this episode is. It's Path to 120.
Yeah, there you
The
go.
Dodgers
Yeah.
are looking to win 120 games, but will they get that 11 that they need in October?
I think the division's very good. We're going to talk a little bit about it. I think the D-backs are good. I think the Padres are really good. I think the Giants have made some improvements,
Don't blow
but
your load just yet.
the Giants are the Cactus League champions, Brandon. You know what I'm
It's big
saying? Like
news.
but the
Outside of the
NL
Blue
has a
Jays,
lot
the
of
Blue
good
Jays.
teams. If the Dodgers were in the American League, I think it's a clear take the over. Because they're not, it's a little bit murkier. But I do think the Dodgers will get to 105 or 106 wins this season.
105. Pick a
Yeah.
number, 105, 106, or 107. What is
Well,
it?
they'll clear those overs. I think.
You pick.
Let's 105.
Jesse.
Dodgers win
105 for
105.
Jesse
Yeah.
Rowe. Oh, man. I love it. 105 for Jesse. We'll check that in a couple months. But, Jess, I do love your enthusiasm. I do regret to inform you that you're wrong. I think that there is going to be a lot of room for experimentation. I
Yeah.
think that guys like Conforto, I think guys like Tommy Edman are going to be platooning, get some blows. I think the Dodgers are the second oldest age in the MLB this year. And I think a lot of guys, your Muncies, your Kikes, your Taylors, Ha-Sung Kim, Freddie, Mookie's already been sick and missing time. These are all guys that are going to need a blow. You got guys in the wings like Hunter Verduccio. We've talked about Zaire Hope a little bit. I can go on forever, baby. But what I'm saying is the Dodgers are going to win 100 games, even Steven,
Okay.
because they're going to let some of their young guys eat. There's going to be a lot of pitchers coming back from injury. But I'll even go a step fucking higher, bud. And I'll say that the most innings pitched this year by a Dodger is going to be 135, Blake Snell. It's all going to be low, dude. too many guys, too many bullets, Big Daddy.
I think Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to pitch about 160. I think Yoshinobu
Ooh,
is
I
going to
like
pitch like 165 to 170 innings.
fucking
I think
love
he will.
that. Yeah.
And assuming health, obviously, I feel like Yamamoto is paid like an ace. He's going to officially take over as the Dodgers ace this year. This is the Yamamoto year where we're like, there is no question he's the best pitcher on the Dodgers. He's the horse. He is. There's a reason why he's the three-time Yamayori. No, not Yama. What's the word of the Japanese Cy Young? Whatever it is,
I don't know, but it felt
three-time winner.
Yori felt good.
But yeah, I think Yamamoto will do that. But other than that, I think you're right. Nobody else over 130 innings, 100%. And I like your take. I think that you're probably right. They are going to experiment. Like they're probably going to call up Dalton Rushing at some point, and he's gonna, that's going to be another storyline. Should they move Will Smith to third because Muncie's struggling, and should they put Dalton Rushing at catcher? We're going to see that shit.
And real quick, just to interject, the Nippon
Yeah.
League equivalent of the Cy Young Award is the Eiji Sawamura Award.
Sawamura, that's what it was. I said Yamayori, Sawamura.
Yeah, that is the Yamayori Giants, but it's okay. Arigato gozaimasu.
Branden.
Effort.
Branden, let's do this.
Branden.
We're gonna have to fly through this because this has gone very long. But it's officially Deferred Collusions 2025 season predictions for every division in baseball. Let's start with the AL East. Last year was one.
Right before we do, I just want to remind everybody: if you're enjoying this content, please like, subscribe, hit us with a comment. We just talked about the Dodgers for 40 fucking minutes.
We did. We did.
I
I had fun doing it.
That, but it was a blast. But yeah, that was it. Enjoy that little commercial from me. Your co-host of Deferred Collusion.
So last year, the New York Yankees won the AL East. What did they win? Let's go to 2024 here. They won 94 games last year. The Orioles finished in second with 91. Red Sox were 81 and 81. Tampa Bay was 80 and 82. Bringing out the end of the pack, bringing out the tail. Toronto Blue Jays 74 and 88. Branden, do the Yankees repeat in the AL East, or will they be a new American League East champion?
Well, Jesse, I'm just looking around the league a little bit, and the Baltimore Orioles still got a lot of names, still got a lot of pop, still got a lot of talent. And I still just don't think this is going to be their year to do it because I'm sorry, the Boston Red Sox are going to be your AL East champions. I feel like they're going to just edge out a injured Yankees lineup that has, I think, gotten much better defensively. And I think that their floor has actually gone up from last year. However, I just don't think there's enough teeth left on the blade of Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger. I don't think that Stanton is going to be healthy enough the way things are sounding to contribute for enough of the season to edge out the old rival Red Sox. So, Jess, that AL East is got some big question marks in it, right? What will the Rays be? Are they going to just find a way to Ray in Steinbrenner Field out
They're
in
going to have to.
part of Florida that is? Are the Blue Jays going to find a way to get some damn stars to sign in their team to join Anthony Santander and Vladdy Guerrero Jr.? But Jess, I do think that as long as the Blue Jays are in wild card contention, that they're going to do whatever they can to keep Vladdy Jr. on their team. Think back to a couple years ago when everybody was saying the Angels need to trade Shohei Ohtani. I predict that will be what we see in the AL East, a valiant effort that comes up short. I do not think the Blue Jays will make the playoffs, and I believe wholeheartedly that the additions of Garrett Crochet and Walker Buehler to that Boston frickin' starting five, I think it's going to be enough, man. I know we shit on Bregman a little bit. I know we shit on Bregman a lot, but I think that is just chef's kiss addition to this team. I don't know, man. Fuck, dude. I mean, I'm an Adam Ottavino guy. We were talking about the 0-0 versus 0 thing with him and Bueller. That shit is kind of silly. And if they start losing early, I really hope that they change that. And then they'll be back to winning.
Yeah. I agree. I think the Garrett Cole, Tommy John situation is just impossible to overcome for the Yankees in terms of. I mean, I still think they're going to be good, but I just think it's going to be too much to overcome. I'm not a Carlos Rodon believer. I'm really not. I think Max Fried has potential to be not a bust, but like he has potential to not have a great year either. You know, he could have some issues in that division. Stroman, you've got Clark Schmidt, who apparently is dealing with some injury right now, so he might start on the IL. I think it's Boston's made the most strides. They have a really good lineup. Devers, Bregman. You've got Trevor Story, who's always a bounce back candidate. You've got Tristan Casas. You got Jaron Duran, who was like a superstar last year. There's so many good players on that team. You've added Walker Buehler.
Chapman in the fucking bullpen.
Added Bueller. Added Garrett Crochet. They've got
Hendricks,
all
another
things.
bounce back candidate.
Everything is heading in the right direction for the Red Sox. Orioles, if they had one good starting pitcher, I think I would potentially pick them, but I just don't believe in their starting pitching is going to be good enough. I think they're going to make the wild card, but not enough starting pitching. Red Sox will win the American League East this year.
Let's go, dude. Double R Sox.
Now we go to the American League Central, and we're gonna have to start powering through these a little bit, guys. Just hang with us here. Last year, it was the Cleveland Guardians who made it to the ALCS. As of last year, I believe they won 93 games, 92 games, 92 and 69. Second place was Kansas City Royals with 86 wins. Tigers tied them with 86 wins. Minnesota Twins and was in fourth place with 82 wins. And then the Chicago White Sox put up a valiant effort with half the amount of wins of the fourth place team, Minnesota Twins. They were 41 and 121, the worst team in the history of baseball. Branden, who takes down the American League Central this year?
Man, this was tough. You know what's funny? I was looking at it, and before we even made our predictions, I was like, dude, the Central is just trash in both leagues. And then I really started paying attention to the AL Central. I'm like, man, well, the Guardians are still looking pretty formidable. Royals got Bobby Witt Jr. They've been looking like a team on the verge of busting out for a little bit. But, man, I really love the offseason that the Detroit Tigers have. Re-signing Jack Flaherty. They got Gleyber Torres. I know I'm missing out on some other ones, but their lineup is looking pretty good. And I don't know, something just feels like Spencer Torkelson is due, right? Like, is this the year that he breaks out and becomes the offensive threat? I don't know, but if he does, look for the Tigers to just run away with the division. I really think that's a possibility. And that's no disrespect to the Guardians or the Royals, who, again, I think, the Royals are at least a lock for me to be your wild card team. And you know what's funny? I think the AL Central is going to probably have the most teams in the dance at the end of it all. That might be a little crazy because I want to talk about the AL West a lot, but my pick right now is going to be the Detroit Tigers to win the division.
Son of a bitch.
The Kansas City Royals as my wild card.
Son of a bitch. I didn't know you were going to go that direction because that's my pick as well. And not because I think
you can't have the same thing, dude.
Not because I think that they're so much better. Like, I think any one of those three teams, like, I think the Twins could absolutely win this division still, by the way. Like, the Minnesota Twins
Really? You do?
No, I'm saying, like, that
Bullshit.
division.
No,
that division
you don't
is so open. Like, just one thing could go wrong for any one of those teams. They go from being an 87-win team to an 80-win team to a 79-win team. Like, it can happen like that. And I think that the Tigers, Tariq Skubal is a true ace. truly the best pitcher in baseball other than Paul Skeens right now. Jack Flaherty is a really good number 2. Casey Mize is a guy that was drafted number 1 overall. They were expecting this guy to be really fucking good. He's had some struggles since coming back from Tommy John. If he had a good offseason, apparently he's looked okay in spring. That could be like a huge boost to that rotation. And then, Reese Olson was really good. But yeah, I mean, I think their bullpen is good enough. And Torkelson, Glaber, McKinstry, Javi Baez.
They just added Manuel Margot today.
The lineup concerns me, if I'm being honest. But I think that the Tigers can pull off an 87-win season and win the division with that. You're going to have like 4 teams. Daddy. You're going to have 4 teams with 80 to 87 wins, and Tigers will squeak it out. American League West. Last year, surprise, surprise. Once again, it was was it Houston? Sorry, it was Houston. The Seattle Mariners had the fastest ever 10-game blown lead in the history of baseball. They blew it in like the span of like 2 weeks. Just an absolute disaster for the Seattle Mariners. But Houston ended up pulling away. And in terms of their records last year, the Houston Astros won 88 games that won the division. Mariners were eliminated with 85 wins. Texas Rangers had 78. They dealt with a bunch of injuries. Oakland Athletics, sneaky, fun season last year. They are now the city to be named later Athletics. They had 69 wins, and the Angels finished with 63 wins. So, who wins the American League West, Brandon?
Jesse, you are never going to believe this, dude.
The Angels.
John Fisher's Athletics are going to win the AL
No,
West.
they're not. Stop
I'm telling you, the AL West is going to be run by John Fisher's Sacramento A's.
You're just engagement farming, dude. You're just
I'm not, dude. Hear me out. Altuve's not working out in left field, and it seems like the Astros are without identity right now. There are some feel-good stories about guys getting signed, and still pretty impressive who's who, a pen and some pitchers, and not to mention one of the most prolific sluggers in the game, Yordan Alvarez. But that does not make a complete team. The fucking Mariners. Yeah, they just signed Cal Raleigh to a 6-year extension. They've got one of the best rotations on the planet, but you can't hit there, and they're not going to do anything to remedy that. The Angels, while they are taking strides in the right direction, I think Ron Washington and Mike Trout are going to have to wait probably another year for some of this young talent to mature and enjoy the seasonings of Travis d'Arnaud and some of the other big league. Tell Michaela I said hey. And,
Brandon says hi.
And some of the big league talent veterans. That said, the reason why I'm banking on the A's is Luis Severino. I'm fucking kidding, dude. No, but there is just something very Hollywood about this. They're playing in a minor league field. Nobody fucking wants them. The goddamn owner of the team won't let the city that they're in put a fucking patch on their jersey that says they're playing in Sacramento, doesn't give a discount to tickets to anybody local, and in fact is charging the most expensive ticket price in the league. On top of that, they can't even have playoff games there. So what you will see is a return to the Oakland Coliseum for your John Fisher's A's to play their first their first Division Series games in front of Oakland, and I don't even know how many years.
You are out of your fucking mind. But I love it. I love you going out on a limb here. My pick is going to be the Seattle Mariners. I think they're going to find a way. Listen to this pitching staff. Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, Bryce Miller, Brian Wu, George Kirby. That is an amazing 1 through 5 starting pitching. I feel like this division is just not cleared up enough. I want to pick the Texas Rangers. I do want to pick the Texas Rangers because I do think like they should win that division this year. But I'm not convinced that Jacob deGrom is going to be able to pitch more than like 50 innings before he gets injured again. Nathan Eovaldi is really getting up there in age. Tyler Mahle, I like him, but he's coming off of Tommy John. He's never been super. He's always been hit or miss. Kumar Rocker, we still don't know. Jack Leiter, we don't know. John Gray, always hit or miss. I think is he coming off Tommy John too? He might be. I'm not sure. He's on a 60-day. The lineup is obviously great, but I think that the Mariners 90 wins wins that division.
Dude, it's so fucking funny. I was gonna say that it was gonna be a low total to win the division, and 90 wins is what I think it takes.
Yeah.
I do think it's gonna be a tight 3-team race between the Astros, Mariners, and A's. I'm serious about the A's being a very.
I don't hate it. I mean, Rooker is really. I like Rooker a lot. I like some of their young players. I just don't know if they're going to have enough pitching. Jeffrey Springs was an interesting trade that they made. He could be really good, but fuck, man, the Mariners absolutely have to make a trade this year. Like they absolutely have to make a trade for a bat, even if it means one of their pitchers. I'm predicting a bounce back for Julio Rodriguez, and I think Randy Arozarena has a big year. I think that those two things need to happen for the Mariners to really do it.
Well, a big reason why I am into this A's team is that I think Lawrence Butler is going to get MVP votes this year.
I like him a lot. He's an exciting player.
Down ballot. I do mean to say down ballot, but I
10th
think
place
he's
votes or something like that. Yeah, sure.
Totally. But I just think it's one of those things, dude, where I think adversity, everything that they're going through, I think it's just going to make that unit tighter, especially a bunch of young guys who got nothing else to play for, but the guys next to him. Yeah. I don't know. I could just see it being a great baseball story, bro.
All right. We'll see. Let's go to the NL East with the Philadelphia. What?
Sorry. Go ahead.
No. The NL East, the Philadelphia Phillies won the division last year. They were 95 and 67. The Atlanta Braves finished in second place with 89 wins. The Mets tied them with 89 wins. The Washington, big drop off now. Washington Nationals 71 wins, and then the Miami Marlins, the basement dwellers, with 62 wins. Who takes the NL East this year, Branden?
Oh man, I think it's gonna be my most exciting division to watch this year. I really like the Phillies. I think that lineup, that starting staff, I think it's just good enough to win a championship any day of the week. The Mets are an exciting team. I don't know what they really got in the tank in terms of pitching for a full season. And the Braves, I think it just really depends on what we get out of Acuna and when he comes back. Spencer Strider, I would love to see him put up, like a sub 3.5 ERA this year, but I'm just not sure what he's going to look like, but am rooting for him. That said, Jess, I got to put my money on the Phillies. I like the Fighting Phils to win the NL East, a competitive NL East, but my surprise out of that is that I don't think that the Mets are going to keep pace. I think they're going to fall to third in the division behind the Braves and Phillies.
Mets are a candidate to miss the playoffs, and I know that it might sound crazy. And I think that they'll squeak into the wild card here, but I'm with you on the Mets. I'm just not 100% convinced. I mean, look at the Phillies here. They added Jesus Luzardo, who could potentially like have an amazing season for all we know. He's been a little bit overrated by a lot of people because he strikes a lot of people out. So the analytics nerds love Jesus Luzardo, but the results haven't been there in terms of ERA and WHIP and things like that. Yeah, but he has the potential to be really, really good. And if you combine that with Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola, Christopher Sanchez, and then you got Ranger Suarez and Taijuan Walker, that has the potential to be a really good starting rotation. And when you combine that with the bats they have, Real Muto, Harper, Bohm, Bryson Stott, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, they added Max Kepler, who's really good against right-handed pitching. That's and Nick Castellanos, obviously. That's a really, really, really good lineup. I think that it's close between the Phillies and the Braves. I'm worried that the Braves, you're not going to have Strider back super early in the season. You're not going to have Acuna back super early in the season. I could see the Phillies getting out to a hot start and sort of taking over that division early, and then it would be catch up for the rest of the way. Braves, though, could easily win this division. They're there, but I agree with you, Phillies. Moving on to the NL Central. Last year, it was
Wait, hold on. Do we both agree that the Phillies for the
yeah,
NL East?
correct.
Why
Yeah,
why are we the fucking same guy? We
I
just
don't
keep
know, dude. I don't know, but NL Central, Milwaukee Brewers won it last year, 93. You know what it is, Joe? We got hot wives. That's what it is, dude.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, hot wife club.
My guy loves a hot wife, dude. This
Yeah,
is insane.
that's what it is, man. I'm telling
That's
you.
not Chris Taylor's wife. I hope you're doing all right. Wherever
That's
you're at.
right. Last year in the NL Central, the Milwaukee Brewers won it with 93 wins. They were 93 and 69. They won the division by 10 games. It was actually the biggest gap in baseball. They won by 10 games. Second place was the Cardinals with 83 wins, the Cubs with 83 wins. The Reds had 77 wins, and the Pirates had 76 wins. Pretty close between those bottom four teams. Who is going to win the 2025 NL Central?
Man, I really want to give the Cubs some love. They've made some really exciting moves this offseason. I mean, baseball's better when the Cubs are, fighting for a pennant, right? Shouts out the Brewers. Jackson Churios had an insane spring. I think something to a 1.2 OPS, just picking up right where he left off. And then, the Cincinnati Reds, dude, are not to be truffled with. Although I don't keep up on my Cincinnati kinfolk too much, my boy Gavin Lux got traded over there, and you got some certified killers up there, some young talent. Jess, I'm going to pick the Milwaukee Brewers to repeat as NL Central champions. But keep an eye out for those Reds to make the race a little tighter than expected, with the Cubs close behind.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I really like the Brewers. They have, I mean, one of the best, arguably the best catcher in baseball right now in William Contreras. Best offensive catcher for sure.
Definitely.
Obviously they're losing Willie Adames is kind of a big hit, so it's a matter of like what are they going to get at shortstop, and as of right now, their projected shortstop is Joey Ortiz and Bryce Terang, who's going to play second. So it'll be some combo of that. They are really, really good at filling in the gaps, filling in the holes that they've created. You know what I mean? They're really good at, like, they traded Devin Williams and a Josh Hader, and then they replenish it. Their bullpen is really good. Starting rotation, I'm a little concerned with. I like Freddie Peralta a lot, but I'm not looking at this rotation with any sort of fear in my eyes, like Nestor Cortez, Aaron Savali, Aaron Ashby. Brandon Woodruff is coming back from injury. He could be good. I just don't know. They're going to have to find outs. But then I look at like the Cubs, and I like Justin Steele, I like Imanaga, I like Tyone, but I'm not I'm not terrified of that rotation. I'm not terrified of the Reds rotation. You've got Hunter Green. This might be the toughest division to call in all of baseball. I think any one of the top three teams, Cubs, Brewers, Reds, could win it. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say the exact same thing. I think the Brewers are just going to win the division.
Oh, my
because
God.
they probably have the most complete team out of all of them. They have an ace. They have a great catcher. They have, good players on the field, good defense, good bullpen. I just think they have a complete team. It's not amazing, but it's complete enough where I could see them squeaking out 90 wins and winning that division. So that's what I got. Moving on to the NL West, which is a division we are somewhat familiar with here. Last year, the Los Angeles Dodgers, 98 wins, 98 and 64. They won the division. They won the World Series. They won the division by 5 games over the Padres, who have 93 wins. The Diamondbacks with 89. The Giants with 80. And those pesky Rockies pulling up the rear with 61 wins. Brandon, I think I know the answer to this question. Who is going to win the NL West?
Jesse, why don't we say it together on the count of 3, 2, 1. The Dodgers.
Dodgers, yeah.
I can't believe we just swept. Same picks for the NL.
I want to change. You know what?
Too late. Too late. You can't change it. It's already locked
All
in.
right.
Judges have it locked in. Jesse, but what I will tell you is that it is a division that has gotten markedly better. While the Dodgers are the big team on campus, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the best offense in baseball last year, went out and got themselves a bona fide ace in Corbin Burns, shocked the league. And then you pair that with Zach Gallen, Corbin Burns. Who are the other studs on their pitching staff? I know I just said Corbin Burns. They're young.
Merrill Kelly. They have
Merrill Kelly. Yeah, that three-headed dragon of Merrill
well,
Kelly.
Jordan Montgomery, who just got Tommy John, which sucks, but he wasn't even a factor for them last year. So
Yeah, that is a bummer. That I guess will go down as the worst contract since Mad Bum for the fucking
yeah,
Snakes.
it's basically a mad bum contract for sure.
Yeah. But Jesse, I think that the NL West is going to be a little bit more exciting than people think. With the exception of the Rockies, there's some young talent there. But I think aside from potentially like Bud Black being fired, there's really nothing to talk about with the Rockies. So Jess,
No.
I just want to go straight into wild card teams.
Well,
the
who
NL.
finishes second in this division? Because yeah, like the
Well,
Dodgers
that's why.
roster.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why I think
Yeah.
instead of going into who's second place, like we can just go straight into the
Okay, let's do it.
wild
Let's do
card
it.
teams. So why don't you take the reins on this one and go ahead? So four
Yeah.
NL wildcard teams, and just to remind everybody of our NL West, Central, and East champions, we both agree that in the East it'll be the Phillies, the Central the Brewers, and in the West the Dodgers. Go ahead, Jess.
It'll be the same as last year. I do think we're going to have a different playoff setup this year. The Padres seem to have this weird thing where, like, one year they're really good, the next year they suck. They fall apart. They definitely have potential for that this year, where if they don't have a good first half, they've already been talking about trading Michael King. They've been talking about trading Dylan Cease. There is definite concern for that to happen here. The Diamondbacks have made incredible strides. They, like you said, signing Corbin Burns. They traded for Josh Naylor, I believe, from the Guardians. They did lose Christian Walker to the Astros, which is a big loss for them. And then you have teams like the Braves. You have teams like the Mets. You have the Cardinals and the Cubs and the Reds. Like even the Giants, who signed Willie Adames and extended Matt Chapman. They've
Justin Verlander.
They're going to have Verlander. They're going to have a full season with Robbie Ray. They have potential to be better too. But I do think that the Diamondbacks are a better team than the Padres right now. I mean, I'm not surprised. Look, the Giants are absolutely one of those teams that they have the potential to, like, they're going to lead the league in one-run wins or something like that this year. They have a really couple of, like, Doval and then Ryan Walker at the end of that bullpen. They could be nasty at the end of that bullpen. The Padres have a really good bullpen, dude. Like, a really good bullpen. But they have the potential where if, like, one starting pitcher goes down, they could have some problems here because who knows what's going on with Darvish. Matt Waldron was really good in the first half, really bad in the second half. Nick Pivetta was signed to this big contract, but he's always been a +4 ERA guy. Like, he could be totally hit or miss for them. Dylan Cease or Michael King have to be aces, and they have to stay healthy, and they can't get traded.
And Jesse, on top of that, Fernando Tatis would need to have an MVP season for them to
like
honestly
lineup,
win the wild card. To win
Yeah, I still like the lineup, though, because I have to disagree with you because, like, Jackson Merrill took such a step forward in his rookie year. If he continues that's a superstar on a rookie contract, which they desperately need for the financial situation that they're in. Mm-hmm. And then you got Machado, who could easily have an MVP caliber season at any moment. Same with Fernando Tatis. Jake Cronenworth is a great, is really solid.
Is he great?
No, he's just great? He's solid. He's a solid player. Then you've got Xander Bogaerts. Has to be better.
What was his OPS last year?
Xander Bogaerts' OPS last year was 688. And he's on a fucking 12-year, $200 and something million deal. It's not good. It's not good at all. He needs to be better.
So you just named their stars, right? Very top heavy and potent, right?
But Arias too.
Who's their catcher? Who's their
As of right
who are
now,
their
their
bench? Who's their
catcher,
bench?
it's Elias Diaz and Martin Maldonado are their catchers. Luis Arias will be their leadoff hitter. Two-time batting champion.
And is he going to play first or probably second, right? With
Look,
Cronenworth at
I've
first.
never been a Luis Arias guy. I like his. If you need a hit, he's a great guy to have.
He'll be
But if you,
traded by the All Star break.
yeah, it's just this team has so much potential for greatness, and then so much potential for the bottom to fall out. Right? That's always been the issue with the Padres. I still think that the talent finds a way, and they win out, and they'll overcome the Giants this year.
I love that, but you're wrong.
Okay, we'll see. We will see. That was fun. This is the longest episode we've ever had, but it
Hey,
was
it's
worth
been a
it
year
because we went
doing
through the
this.
league. Before we go, one more quick thing to do here. We're going to do AL MVP, NL MVP, Cy Young, and champion. So go ahead. Who do you got? Who is your AL MVP? We got to make it quick.
AL
So just
MVP.
name it, give a sentence, and we move on.
AL MVP. You're not going to interrupt that sentence, are you?
No.
Just kidding. AL MVP is going to be none other than Kansas City's own Bobby Witt Jr. He's officially going to be the tip of the spear when it comes to turning Kansas City, the city of champions, into a baseball town. And this is going to be his coming out party this season. Jess, who's your AL MVP?
That is a great question. Let me look at these teams really quick. My AL MVP is going to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. They're going to miss the playoffs.
Whoa! I love it.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
going to have a
it.
monster. He's going to hit like 45 home runs, but they're going to miss the playoffs.
Love it. Love it.
All right. Who is your AL Cy Young?
Man, this is tough, dude, because there's a couple guys on the cusp.
Sorry, I'm changing it. Gunnar Henderson is going to be my AL MVP for the Baltimore Orioles. Yeah.
Whoa, dude.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to be edgy because I couldn't think of a name, but now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I think Gunnar Henderson is like he's like on a level with Bobby Witt in my opinion. I think he could win the MVP this year. I'm gonna go with him. You didn't like that pick as much as Vladdy, I know.
I don't like that you changed it. I thought you had some real fucking nuts
I
on
did.
you, dude.
I pushed out, dude. I pushed out big
Oh,
time.
man. Jess, that's okay, because I've got...
I mean, I could easily say Aaron Judge, but it's like that's just too easy. I have to, pick somebody else.
That is too easy, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little easy here. You asked me what my AL Cy Young Award winner is, and Jess, I don't think it's any surprise. I'm going with a pitcher from the Seattle Mariners, from the West Coast, none other than your friend and my favorite, number 58 Luis Castillo.
Okay.
I'm expecting big things from the big dog this year. I know what you're thinking. What the hell, Luis Castillo, dude? But there's X, Y. No, dude. Robbie Ray won a fucking Cy Young a couple years ago. All right? Telling you. Castillo, top prospect.
I don't hate it at all.
Whatever. Peripheral stuff is just nasty, and he's been a guy that everybody's been waiting to take the next step. I think being in this lineup, kind of like we talk about with batters, affords a little coverage. I think this is the year Castillo gets his first Cy Young. Let's go. Jess.
I love it.
Yeah,
My Cy Young pick, I really wanted to go with George Kirby of the Seattle Mariners. I'm gonna say,
Never
and
heard of him.
I don't love the pick, but I do think that if the health permitting, that if the Red Sox are one of the best teams in baseball, like we think they're going to be, it's going to be anchored. It's going to be super important that this guy is one of the best pitchers in baseball. Because when he was on last year, when he was healthy, he was nasty. He was lights out. And if Garrett Crochet can pitch 150 to 160 innings this year, I think his numbers will be good enough that he's going to pull out a Cy Young winning season for the Boston Red Sox. That is my pick. We are moving on. By the way, who comes out of the AL
Ooh.
for the World Series?
Who's the
AL champion.
ALCS champion?
Yeah.
Man, who's going to the show this year? Fuck. I think we're gonna see Boston back in the dance this year, dude. The Boston Red Sox, I think, got what it takes to get there. I think they're gonna maybe make a move for a bat. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I'm going Sox. Going Sox.
I think I'm going to pick the Seattle Mariners. I think the Seattle Mariners are going to the World Series this year, dude. I just really believe in that pitching. They got to make a trade for a bat. If they make a trade for a bat and they can score like 4.5 runs a game, I really believe that team can pitch with anybody in baseball. So
I'm pretty sure he's still a free agent. Get JD Martinez in Seattle.
Go get him.
20 home runs. Fuck
Go get him, dude. All right, now National League MVP. Last year was Shohei Ohtani. Who's it going to be this year, Brandon? I got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Man, I know I just went on a big shit run, and I was saying that they wouldn't even make the playoffs.
Tatis, don't fucking say Tatis after saying that the Padres aren't going to make the playoffs.
Dude, he's really good.
What, we were reading Sports Illustrated, bro? Come on,
man.
Yeah.
We said that Doc Roberts is quoted as saying that you can bank on Shohei making 18 to 20 starts this year. And I think if he hits that number, it's going to be an easy 4th MVP trophy for your boy, Shohei Ohtani. What am I going to do? Work against him?
No,
Shohei Ohtani's your NL MVP, brother.
If Shohei makes 18 starts and he's at like a 3.5 ERA and he hits 40 to 45 homers, hits 300 to,
if he hits fucking 20 homers and has a
let's say this.
ERA, dude.
If it's not going to be Shohei Ohtani, I'm going to say Corbin Carroll wins the NL MVP. Hits 30 homers, steals 70 bases, that type of season.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I love that.
NL Cy Young. Last year, it was... Who fucking won the Cy Young? I'm blanking right now. Who won the Cy Young?
Oh my God, why am I blanking right now?
It wasn't Snell. It was...
No, it was...
Chris Sale. Sorry, Chris Sale won the Cy Young.
Chris Sale. Sorry, Jesus Christ. Sorry, Chris Sale.
So as of right now, the Cy Young favorites for right now is Paul Skeens, I believe, is Paul Skeens is plus 300, Zach Wheeler's a plus 750, Chris Sale's plus 800, Blake Snell 1,000, Burns 1,200, Cease 1,600, Glass now 1,700. Who is your NL Cy Young?
Man, this is going to be crazy because it's going to tie in with my my NL Rookie of the Year. Do you want me to give you both right now?
Oh my God, please, yeah.
They're going to be battery mates. It's not going to be the same person, Jess. But your NL Cy Young is going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and your NL Rookie of the Year is going to be none other than Roki fucking Sasaki, dude. We're all stars now in the Roke show, baby.
You know, I love it because Yamamoto is getting incredible odds. I think it's a great sprinkle pick to bet on Yamamoto to win the Cy Young. I do think Paul Skeens will win a Cy Young while he's in Pittsburgh. Like, he's absolutely going to win it because they're going to milk that cow as long as they can before he inevitably leaves, which means he's going to pitch a ton of fucking innings, dude. He's going to pitch a fuck ton of innings for the Pirates. I think I don't love the odds at plus 300, but I do think Paul Skeens is going to win the Cy Young this year. I think that the Pirates don't have anything to play for. They're going to pitch him to death, and he's going to have an unbelievable season. So.
Hey, he called out his ownership a little bit, like, hey, I'm going to be here for the next 5 years, but let's not keep hanging our hat on a damn fucking playoff series, you know?
One caveat, if Tyler Glasnow pitches 155 plus innings, I do think Tyler Glasnow will win it. Mark my
There you
words on
go.
that. So,
There you go.
all
There
right,
you
this was a
go.
fun one.
Real
This was a
quick,
long
Jess,
one. Yeah.
who's your rookie of the year for the NL?
I mean, I didn't really do enough research on this to say anybody other than Roki Sasaki. So
Love
hold
it,
on, I'll
dude.
tell you
Me
right now.
neither. That's why. Me neither. We
NL
didn't even do
Rookie
an
of
AL
the
Cy Young.
Year favorites. Let's tell you right now. As of right now, the NL Rookie of the Year favorites are. Oh fuck, that's AL. Where is it? NL Rookie of the Year odds. Roki Sasaki is the heavy favorite at plus 225. Dylan Cruz, Matt Shaw, Bubba Chandler. No, it's gonna be Roki Sasaki, dude. Come
Let's
on.
go, dude.
All right, brother. This was a fun one. This is a long one. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Longest episode ever. 10-year anniversary. 1 year anniversary of Deferred Collusion. We had to make it a special one. Thank you guys to all the Ride or Dies. Let's go on opening day. Please tune in and tap in with us. And yeah, remember, ring ceremonies Friday night. You guys looking for tickets? Go enjoy it. And baseball is here, Brandon. It's been a pleasure, brother.
Jesse, it is always a pleasure. This has been your 1 year anniversary of Deferred Collusion. Your host with the most, our editor in chief, Jesse, the Relentless Row, the best in the game. You heard it
That's
here
right.
first. Me, you're a lovable dork, blue collar guy. Brandon loves being with you. Hey, I won't see you then, but happy opening day, folks. Enjoy it. And if you're at the Dodger game Saturday, there to watch my rookie of the year pick, Roki Sasaki. Say what's up, dude. Let's go. Let's have a good
Happy with
year.
Brandon. He'll be there. Yes, sir.
Doyers.